Hi guys, I'm Stuart. I hope you're all well and rested and excited for this lesson and for this term. This term we're going to be doing a short course on design sketching, and we're going to specifically be focusing on freehand sketching. So what is freehand sketching? Well, freehand sketching, amongst many other things, is an essential tool for problem solving and for communicating design ideas. And just like every useful skill, it requires regular practice to get good at it. I always struggled with drawing, and it's something I've had to practice a lot. And so the focus for this is to just get us into a habit of practicing. And so the sketch lesson will only take about 10 or 15 minutes, and all you need is blank A4 paper and a blue or a black ballpoint pen. Don't even think about taking out an eraser and a ruler, or any of those other things that you normally use for technical drawing or sketching. This is all we're going to be using. Right, so what are we doing? Well, we're going to be introducing you to the sketching basics, and we're going to cover a quick lesson on warming up. How do you get your hand moving nice and freely? We're going to be looking very briefly at what freehand sketching is, and then we'll look at two different types of lines that we use most often in design sketching and freehand sketching. So let's get started. Okay, so freehand drawing means that you draw with a pen on paper without any other apparatus. We don't use rulers, we don't use erasers, we don't use any of those sorts of things. And the reason we do that is to develop confidence in being able to draw. Once you put that line down, you need to know that it's okay if it's not in the right place. We're going to develop the skill and we're going to grow it, and we need to learn to not be scared of our pen. When I first started drawing, there was nothing more terrifying than a blank piece of paper. And so as our warm-up today, we are going to do one of two things. We're firstly going to get our arm moving and our hand moving freely, because one of the big problems with drawing in general, especially when we start to draw freehand, is when we start to draw too small and you can't see what's going on. I don't know if you guys, if you sketch or you scribble, you doodle or whatever, you'll do really tiny little things, and that's not helpful. We can't see that clearly. We want to learn how to draw properly. We want to draw something big that can be seen. So never be scared to just put a line down on the paper, but we also need to start developing the skills that we need to get a line going all the way across. Be more confident with our lines. So our warm-up is going to do both of those things. It's going to teach us some skills around getting our hand to move, do larger movements, and we'll also be just messing up the page, and that's great. Okay, so we're going to start, and we're going to put a point on one side of the page and a point on the other side of the page, and you can do that. You can just start putting little dots all over the page, and the idea is that we're going to choose this dot and that dot, and I'm going to draw a line from one side to the other. And you'll see that the idea is to start the line, draw it through. So I missed there. That's okay. Try it again. Do it the other way around. And see if you can go from one dot to the other one, going up, going down, going across. The idea is to just draw a straight line from one dot to the other. And you don't have to worry about being super accurate all the time. You just need to draw those lines. Get those lines nice and straight, nice and confident, and we just need to draw a straight line. So spend 5 minutes just drawing straight lines across your page. Leave a bit of a border so you don't have, you've got about 1 centimeter all the way around your page. There's nothing worse than spending all this time drawing a beautiful drawing and then finding that you run out of the page on the edge. So we always try and maintain a bit of a border around our page. Right, so 5 minutes, draw as many lines from one dot to another, and if you run out of dots, draw more. So I'm going to draw one. I've got one up in the top corner, so going up, missed the dots. Okay, that's fine. Let's keep going. Draw, draw, draw. Something else you can just make a note of is, as you're drawing, try not to look at where your hand is, where the line is. Look at where you're going. So if I'm going to start on this side and I want to get to a dot over there, look at this dot and just draw towards the dot. So we're not going to look at our pen, because if we start doing that, let's say I put a dot over here and a dot over here, and I look at the pen where it's going, it starts to go squiggly, we go too slowly, and yes, maybe we'll end up at that point, but the line is really not straight. If I look at that point over there and I start from here and I just go straight across, yes, okay, it was a bit of a curve, but we get a much more confident straight line going from one point to the other. If you have a look at a line that was painstakingly traced from one point to another, it always looks wobbly and unconfident. If we just draw a line quickly, it's got so much more dynamism in it, and that's really what we're focusing on developing for this. Right, so you've done your exercise there. Now what we're going to do is look quickly at the two main types of lines that we use. So we've got a solid line, and that is a line, nice, reasonably thick black line. Okay, that's what we use to define edges of an object. Okay, and so we can use this to start constructing geometry. Then the other one that we use is a construction line, and that's a much lighter line. So if you have a look here, you want to be able to show just where the line is going, what it's doing, but we use that to construct a 3D object. So once we've done our constructions, then we fill in with a solid line afterwards. So the construction is a light line that shows us how we're going to get that form, and then the solid line defines that form once we've worked it out. So we use these, we first do construction lines, then we do solid lines. So what I want you guys to do is practice doing a page of just straight lines going up and down, and you can do a whole page going from the one side to the other. Don't worry about it being too straight, don't worry about it being not neat. You're going to do a page of very light, as light as you can. All you want to do is just get a little bit of ink to show you that it's touching the paper. If you go too lightly, obviously it's not going to draw anything, and you've got to maintain an even pressure. And then when you've done that, I want you to do a page of pressing nice and hard, a page of solid lines going across, and again try and make it so that the solid line is solid all the way along, so you don't go wavy. It doesn't go solid and then light and then solid and then light, because that doesn't look very confident either. So we want to just get solid lines going up and down, up and down, up and down. Right, you're going to practice, do that. If you want to do 2-3 pages, go for it. We are going to have a look at construction lines and solid lines as our second activity. And finally, what we can do is we're going to do the same thing, but from horizontally. So we can do a whole lot of construction lines. Maybe let's go half the page construction lines, half the page solid lines, so we can see the difference. I'm going to go from there to there, and then I'm going to do solid lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, have fun. This is a very relaxing process. Remember, it's not being marked. I just want to give you an opportunity to start developing that skill, getting your hand moving nice and quickly, and really just experiencing the feel of your pen moving without having to worry about exactly what you are drawing at this stage. Just looking at straight lines and going from one dot to another. I hope that you had a lot of fun through this lesson, and I look forward to our next one next week.